the pandemic, there's about 500 news streaming platforms, and the industry is just like early 2000s in Silicon Valley, where there's a lot of startup founders, and I see these startup founders not different than filmmakers, because you open up the LLC as a filmmaker, and then you put your crew together, you pay them, and you shoot the movie, you put the movie in the can, that's your product to sell. And usually the cycle, film cycle versus startups is about 3 years maximum for the exit, and it could be as quick as 6 months. So usually, I also invest in startups. I have actually 2 IPOs coming this year, which is exciting, all fintech unicorns, but it's usually 5 to 7 years until you see some kind of event. In movies, again, depending on the deal, it could be 6 months. So let's take a look. I think one of the biggest things that we've done in the past 2 years is we had our proof of concept. We operated in a stealth mode under the name filmcapital.io, and we opened the platform to private investors, and we had a movie that I personally shot and produced, and now being sold at Cannes Film Festival this year. And our proof of concept was completed in 2021, and we had our license at the end of 2021, and now we're going to market with a new name, new brand called Untold, representing Untold stories. I'll get to the team and everything later. But the reason, when I started Untold in 2018, it was Film Capital, and I was at a finance conference in Vegas. Really great room like this, where Michael puts it together, a really great group of investors and sophisticated family offices. And I was collecting some feedback, and I asked a person from a really notable family, actually, somebody that I really wanted to get the opinion about my company that I'm about to start in 2018. And I asked her, hey, do you invest in movies? And she said, nope, never again. And I said, okay, that was 2018. And she sits on a couple $1 trillion. So I was like, okay, this might be a signal for me to stop right here or keep going. And I chose the latter, and I just kept going. And actually, I saw her 3 days ago at another conference, and we had a good moment where I said, okay, here, now you can. And she was really happy. So I'll keep these slides going in the meantime, but I have another agenda here. So I'm gonna run the demo before I explain most of the platform, because we're ready to go. And I think if you guys were here yesterday, Harris was talking about it. We have a Robert De Niro movie coming out in November, and it's not out yet in November, but I can show you some videos. So I'm just gonna run the demo quickly before I run out of time. So this is our website, right? You get on and you're able to see the investments, because this is a public platform and we have the crowdfunding license. You're able to see as a public user. You don't have to log in anymore. And the beauty is we can market it in any way we like. And we have the coming soon movies here. We just want to focus on this movie specifically for now. So I'm just going to log in. And first, we want to build this as almost like a streaming platform. First, we want the users to stay engaged with all the content, and especially some content that they would not see otherwise, whether it be some backstage footage or content that was removed from the actual can. So this is going to be fun, especially with Robert De Niro and Morgan Freeman. This movie's not out yet, but we got the rights. Harris was here yesterday, I was telling. We got the rights to play this to our audience and to our investors. So there's about, I'll get to these later, but first, I want to play one of these scenes. So this is just like, I'm pretty sure you guys saw a couple of crowdfunding platforms before, like Republic, now that we're worth about 4 or 5 billion. Where they got stuck, if you ask me, is that startups, when you invest in startups, it's pretty boring, right? You put the money in and you kind of wait for 5 to 7 years, like we said before. For movies, there's a huge IP that you can dive deep. And you can extract a lot of value from that IP. And I'll get to our Web3 strategy later, but this is just the investment piece of it. And I think that's why Republic is here now today, kind of pushing that valuation. But if they could unlock something like this, which is not possible in the startup industry probably, but films kind of let you do that. So let's go with the videos. before you invest, you can watch it a little bit sometimes. Sometimes it's development stage, sometimes opportunities like this, which I really like, which I have personally a lot of access to. I like these ones a little bit better because you're not investing in the risk of completing the movie. You're more investing in a complete product before it comes out.
Like that Mexican kid did in Orson Welles' Touch of Evil. That kid was shit. But I don't know. No, what I'll do is I'll stab you. Like Tony Perkins did to Janet Leigh in Psycho.
Yeah, that motherfucker really loved his mother.
No. You know what I'll do? I'll push his ass down the stairs like Richard Widmark did that old Batman. Kiss of death. Remember Tommy Udo?
I didn't see that. Did you ever consider letting me go, like Claude Rains did to John Garfield? Did they make me a criminal?
Shit, I hated that movie. That's bad luck for you. Unfortunately for you, Max, this is one time when life was not in the radar.
Reggie, listen. I told you, this is the movie business, and there was always a chance that we could take a loss. I told you.
A loss? I just went by the theater. You haven't sold one goddamn ticket. There's got to be some sort of fucking record.
Yeah, you can't do this to me. It's not my fault. Those goddamn captains, they're all going crazy. They're fucking nuts. They went crazy. They wanted people in the theaters. But this is gonna go. Wait and see. And all this press is great for us. You can't buy this kind of movies.
Listen to me, Max. This piece of shit cost me $350,000. I want my money back. All of it.
Yeah, but I don't have your money. It's up on the screen.
Sure, yeah. That's what you said.
I said that?
Back in the time, you used to go around Hollywood and sit in Soho House or talk to some producers. I know it was some of these guys. These are real. So I did invest in movies in the past as well. I made my first movie when I was a college student living in a frat house. I made a movie about frat life and American Pie kind of movie, and I casted a bunch of influencers. And I got my first exit with Universal Studios for $1 million. Again, I was still a college student, so to me it was a great exit. But the stories like this exist 99% of the time. So you have to have the real people delivering real results. So that's what I think we're doing in terms of delivering those results, because we only work with the producers, basically our neighbors. We're based in Universal Studios backlot, so all of our neighbors are potentially our B2B clients. And we merged with a company there recently called Hollywood Media Bridge, and they have about 70 to 100 movies in the pipeline every year, so we have our pipeline covered through them. But we still vet projects, we still talk to other producers. I think we're going to do something with Adam here. We met yesterday, and he has a really cool project. We're going to onboard him. They just sent me the script. Stuff like that happens, and we see those projects as well. And one thing that we pay attention is we want to get social impact-oriented projects, and we want to green light them off the bat. And everything else is based on the simple math and simple formula of their financing and their exit strategies. And being in the middle of and having merged with a sales company, we provide the exit strategies as well. We can connect them with Netflix, Hulu, Paramount Plus, Universal. Most of these guys that have, most of these big streaming platforms have output deals with our distributor. But most of the time, I don't want our producers to come to me for distribution. I want to make sure that they have their exit strategy already there. This movie, for example, that you just watched is coming out in theaters, 1,500 theaters in the United States in November. So when you invest now, basically you can see your results in about 6 to 8 months. So the reason that we wanted to, push this agenda in 2022 the most, because all these streamers came in, they're spending collectively about $120 billion by 2025. And this did not exist before. I promise this was not the case. Most of the time, independent filmmakers would be very desperate to have an exit, and they would not be able to have these streamers reach out to them to write big checks. At Sundance Film Festival, the first time in history, $26 million check was written to a friend of mine. He was a Harvard grad, new filmmaker, and made an amazing movie. I know I'm up with the time, so I'm just going to talk about our Web3 strategy. We first want to have we want to have this entire thing on one chain that we're discussing which one soon. And the idea is to create equity-based NFTs and allocate the profits on the same wallet, and also give people a chance to get NFTs at certain investment levels. and then create secondary markets after. And I think that's our value unlock beyond Republics. And by the way, we're the only ones in the content field doing this, so I think we're gonna have competition soon, but so far, we're the only ones with the SEC license. This is our round. We can talk about it privately or whatever you guys like. And I can send this back to people. These are our peers. Again, in 2016 I made that movie. In 2017, the movie had an exit, and this idea started at Singularity University after I took a course in blockchain at MIT. And in 2019, I incubated this in Singularity. 2020, we went to market with MVP. And now we're here with more of a scale product. This is our IP library, more coming soon. And this is our team. You might know some of these names. Me, Claire. Claire's father passed away, so she's not here today. But she's one of my biggest helps, obviously. You might know that this guy as well. Our CTO, Laszlo, he built El Salvador's Chive wallet. He's a consultant to Spotify's blockchain efforts. He's a consultant to Binance. He's one of the top guys in the industry. So I really listen to what he says, because most of the time he says no, 99% of the time to people, even if they're giving us great strategic partnerships with some chains that you guys might know. Laszlo is able to see right through and say no, which is a great asset for me and for the rest of the team. Phil is an Oscar-winning, Emmy-winning, Tony-winning guy. He's the guy that we merged with recently. He's our sales and distribution partner. We have a film fund based in Istanbul to support our offerings. And that's not the biggest fund in the world. It's a $10 million fund, but it's growing every year. Brendan, we have obviously a huge compliance department. We have 3 people checking everything we do, and everything is archived because of SEC, and we report constantly. Amy is our experience advisor. She's great. She's now at Virgin Galactic, but she's run Disney Imagining for a while. Joe, we might have seen him on Social Dilemma. He was the Google whistleblower, but amazing guy in data. And Harris, you saw him yesterday. So yeah, this is all I have. I know I'm out of time, but thank you for listening and thank you for paying attention.
I didn't hear the investment opportunity. You showed the investment of a single movie, but what about Untold itself?
Oh, Untold itself was here. So we're raising our seed round right now.
Oh, I thought that was referring to comeback trade.
Oh, no, yeah. We're raising our seed round. Most of this will go to attaching celebrities to each project that we have. And obviously marketing and scaling. And we're going really deep with our Web3 strategy as soon as possible. So we'll start creating our equity-based wallet, NFT wallet, and also secondary markets within this year. And Laszlo can't wait to.
And is there a cap on the safe? There's a 15% discount. Is there a cap?
Yes. Well, I think for this round we're gonna cap it at 50 million.
Okay, thank you.
Normally we have different conversations with different investors. For this group, we're going to have a specific opportunity, so feel free to talk to me after. And this is our use of proceeds. Any questions?
Yes, so first of all, congrats to have a Robert De Niro movie as a proof of concept. That's amazing. Two questions. The first one, so my understanding is really the competitive advantage that you guys have is, I guess, the relationship within kind of the LA ecosystem to have access to, I guess, a great deal flow of movies. And when I see the stat that you were showing, 22% of films actually make money. So you guys, what do you think your hit rate would be? If the industry standard is 22%, do you believe you can outperform it by 2 times,
Yes.
3 times?
I'm glad you asked that question. The way we make movies, especially in the studio system, is we never take the risk. So we sell, the way they're financed is you invest about 20 to 30% of equity, but the rest is already sold. So there's tax incentives available everywhere in the states that we should, especially starting with Puerto Rico. And there's also pre-sale possibilities that we have. So because we have these distribution deals, usually when you attach the talent and you escrow the talent, which is the 30% of the equity that goes into, then you're able to get pre-sales from these distributors. And then somebody says, okay, if you give me the North American right, I'll give you $1.2 million. And you take that paper and discount it. In the Hollywood ecosystem, again, there's finance companies that do that, and you shoot your movie with that. And the risk is really minimized for all the stakeholders that are involved. And that's the only way to actually make movies. Most of the people who lose money in making movies because they don't know how to finance from the beginning, which is sad.
Still, the Robert De Niro movie is 5.7 on IMDb. So the question at the end is ticket sales in theaters or.
So Robert De Niro movie came out in one territory as a test. And I think, I don't know, I think the audience, I think it was in Israel or Kuwait. And maybe the audience wasn't right, but the IMDb rates can be tricky here and there. I watched the whole movie. I would give Easy 8. I've seen a lot of movies. I've seen a lot of shitty movies. This is not one of them. Obviously, there's Robert De Niro and Morgan Freeman in it, right? And it's a high budget movie at the end of the day. And I think it's going to do really, really well.
How do you get your first money? You get your money out first.
So we have a very specific way to invest in the movies. It's almost like a safe note. You come in as an equity investor, so you participate in the risks technically to take advantage of the upside, but you're not exposed because we create a growth corridor for you. So we hedge you with almost 80%, so you don't really get exposed. And this is we're able to do it because of the power dynamics in Hollywood. And we say, okay, our investors will be in the equity pool, and they'll have that upside when you make a lot of money, but they're not going to be exposed in the bottom of the waterfall. We'll create a growth corridor for them, 80%, so they're all hedged. And we call it Hollywood safe. Thank you, guys. Happy to talk to anyone after. Thank you for making more time.
Well.